So my topic of conversation today is about investing in your physical body, investing in your physical health, and therefore investing in your ability to function independently as long as possible. So when it comes to those active activities, life activities that you do, the idea of functional fitness is going to help us with functional movement. This is me. I am a nationally board certified wellness coach, as she said, and I like to state that part because I'm proud of it. In the medical field, wellness coaching is an emerging profession, and the idea with that certification is that soon that it will be a billable thing that your practitioner would just send you to, as though they send you to a physical therapist. A lot of doctors do currently send their clients to me, as well as physical therapists. What a physiologist does is a little bit different than the physical therapist. They maybe treat an injury, where I treat kind of the whole body, how it's affecting that injury. So how we're moving, and metabolism. So when to exercise and when to eat. Okay, so the topic, living to 100. It sounds like some of us are gonna do that. Staying fit is not mutually exclusive from being mentally sharp. And there's a lot of research. I didn't cite a lot of it. I think you guys have seen it. You know that this is true. Getting into our body and connecting the neuromuscular connections helps with our intelligence. So I think we should invest in your fitness. And that's something that you can do with very little money now. Hopefully that will create less money spent on healthcare costs later. And here this just shows that the World Health Organization says it's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So not just the absence of disease. And the good news is that when we work on our physical fitness, we can work on all of those things at once. Because if we're working on our physical fitness, we're connecting that mind, body, spirit, mental part. And a lot of times we should be doing it in social. We want to create happy, active communities. I work with the positive psychology of behavior change to create changes in exercise, nutrition, and stress management. And some of the times that that's most important in our life is through the transitions. So this person is having a baby, so at the beginning of so many different life transitions, and her goals have completely changed. So it's kind of like, I used to have goals to run a marathon, now I have goals to be active with my child 30 years from now. So in my approach to fitness, I go with a less is more approach, and I mean that in every way possible. So I mean that less is more, let's be effective and efficient in the gym so that we can go out and do the things that we like to do for fitness. Because the things that are going to drive us to be fit are focusing on those activities that we love doing, that involve physical activity. I also believe less is more when it comes to what we focus on when we're strength training. So some of the most important things that we can focus on is simply posture and breathing. So we've been sitting down for a long time, and let's stand up. I think it's time. Have a little stand up, have a little stretch, maybe a little bit of hip wiggle. Okay. And I want you to take your hand to your lower belly right here. And I want you to take a big breath in. And when you feel that breath in, I want you to connect all the way down to your lower belly. Inhale. And feel that path go all the way down to your pubic bone. And then as you exhale, I want you to make it long as you can. And the way we're going to make that exhalation long as we can is we're going to think about a little bit of activation in the pelvic floor. So I'm not going to get in this too much today. I could spend a whole hour talking about it. But it's a Kegel, if you've heard of that, or it's that hold your pee muscle. For men, it kind of feels like you're lifting your balls, or that's what I've heard. I don't know. But that's where we're talking about, low, low, low. Okay, so let's try it. Let's take a big breath in. Feel that inhale go all the way down. And exhale, feel that activation of the pelvic floor. And feel how that makes that exhalation more expansive. So not only did breathing deep help us access what I like to call the lost frontier, we're just exploring it down here, and our posture, right? It changes the way that you stand. So being in alignment in the body helps us breathe better, it helps us move better, and therefore helps us do our daily activities better. Okay, we can sit down. But I have another activity, it's just a sitting one. I spend just as much time having people stand up and do exercise as I have them spend time getting into their mind. And so I want you guys to find your why. So many people come to me, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to lose 5 pounds, I want to be able to not hurt in my hip. But all of those things are great, and we know physical fitness is a key to getting there. But really, it's the why behind why do I need to lose 10 pounds, right? If someone has diabetes and they're looking at a piece of pizza versus 2 pounds, and 2 pounds, the pizza's always going to win because pizza's delicious and 2 meant nothing to anyone ever, right? The number 2, not that important. So if we think about, wow, this is important to me, I want to play with my grandkids, or a lot of those things on the circle that you saw in the last presentation. I want to travel. I want to be able to invest in things that aren't necessarily that as expensive as the healthcare piece. Okay, so close your eyes. And I want you to picture yourself 10 years from now. So your best self that you can picture in 10 years from now. Maybe imagine a location where you would be. Maybe imagine an activity that you would be doing. You can imagine who would be there doing it with you. And I want you to breathe into this vision, and I want you to really know that this is your best self and what you want. Feel it? Okay, and open your eyes. Now we're back in the now, right? So that's future self. But in the now, I think that future self comes from healthy behaviors right now. So in any of those pictures that you just had going on in your head, does being physically fit increase your ability to enjoy what you just pictured in your head? Raise the hands. So everyone, great, awesome. Okay, so I say, these slides are a little bit funny, because I say let's simplify it, and then I just wrote a whole bunch of words. We all learned in college you're not supposed to do that, but I did it anyway. If you're a reader, you can read it here. Otherwise, I'll just tell you. So the breakdown, there's so many things online, so many different things that we can do. But the American College of Sports Medicine and the General Guidelines for Health says what we can do. And if we make it a little bit more minimal and we make it a little bit more realistic, sometimes it feels a little bit more approachable. So 150 minutes a week of cardiovascular exercise. That is 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Go on a walk at lunch, right? That's the time. Another thing that helps this be a little less intimidating and has been effective is you can do 10-minute increments. So if you're someone that maybe can't do exercise for 30 minutes because of either a heart issue or an orthopedic issue, 10 minutes, 3 times a day equals 30, right? So we can do this in small increments and we can do it in greater increments. The higher the intensity, if you're able, the lower amount of minutes that you actually need to reach that health guideline. So cardio. Resistance exercise, so strength training. So strength training, they say 2 to 3 times a week, each muscle group in the body. What that does is it allows us also for the importance of restoration, that less is more idea. I work at the Multi-Sport Complex Center for the county. I teach classes sometimes. And I see some people in their 70s, you know, they're retired and it's a good place to hang out, but they'll go to like 3 classes in a day. And then they'll tell me, man, I hurt or I'm sore. I don't go to 3 classes a day, and I'm getting paid to teach them. So less is more approach. 2 to 3 times a week, each muscle group, every other day. Okay, and then this one, obviously I really love flexibility, and I think flexibility, I like yoga better because to me flexibility is stretching. And yoga is taking that stretching concept and thinking about, again, connecting it to where we were talking about, the center, the pelvic floor. So if we can stability and then find mobility, I think that that's really important. These are exercises that doesn't take very long. You can do 5 minutes of what feels tight in your body daily. And then I'm really excited that when I was making these slides, I looked up the American College of Sports Medicine General Guidelines, and this one was added. And I thought that's funny that I haven't looked at it in a while because this is what I'm always talking about. So this is talking about our neuromuscular exercise and increasing that neuromuscular intelligence in the body. Good news, this one it says do it every day. Spend time standing on one foot while you're brushing your teeth is a good time to do it. Who's been to physical therapy in their life? Yeah? Okay, did you get some exercises there? Do you still do them? Okay. Were there 20 of them written down and now you feel better so you don't necessarily need to do all 20? That can be very true. However, there's a couple of those exercises that are going to help you from getting that injury again. So depending on what we've been prone to in the past or what we're prone to currently, we can have a few different exercises that work. So for example, I wake up every morning and I do the most boring pelvic floor stretches on the ground so that all day I can say, okay, stability muscles do work, right? This doesn't have to be overwhelming because I think that our strength training, our cardiovascular training, and our flexibility training can be this. Can all be based on daily moving better. So wellness coaching is to support the discovery of self-motivation by clarifying why your health and fitness is important. So what parameters make sense for you and what strategies to achieve your goals. So being systematic about it. Don't just go on YouTube and look up exercises and try them. It's not a good idea. What is a good idea is looking at what's important and making your goals based around them. So. And then on the exercise physiology part, like I said already, is that I focus more on the combination. What's happening? What's the formula? What's our stress management? What is our nutrition doing? When are we eating? When are we exercising? How is that affecting our metabolism and our ability to function well? I have a client right now who is 88 and we just increased her diet a little bit and kind of gave her permission to eat some things that she was thinking she was allergic to, but is provenly not allergic to. And she's gained 3 pounds and she says she feels like she's grown an inch and her doctor felt like her breathing has improved. And all she's been doing is coming and hanging out at the gym and focusing on these things 2 times a week. Create the health that you want now. So that future self that you pictured is happening in your health behaviors today. That's when it's happening. Does your health insurance have exercise solutions? A lot of times it does. So you should focus in and see what's available there. My background is in corporate wellness, and corporate wellness is a great place to be because selling wellness to a CEO is easier than selling it to a doctor. A CEO says, oh, if my employees are healthy, that's going to improve productivity and therefore improve financial benefit to the company. So most companies have something in order, and some of them don't talk about it a lot. So in the past, if you have that, that's awesome. And then also health savings accounts or something to think about. Community resources, like I said, there's a lot of good ones out there. So the county, 2 different departments that I want to tell you about. The recreation department has amazing classes at all of the different rec facilities, and they're all very affordable. And also aging services in the county has a class for elderly, and it's with a chair, and it's scientifically proven to help living independently in later age. And that's free for anyone above the age of 65, and it's at our community centers, at those senior services. Be systematic and invest in good service. Like when you want to work on your finances, you hire a financial investor. And I'm not saying that it has to be me, or financial planner, excuse me. I'm not saying that it has to be me, but focus in and actually get help that's really going to help you. I think spend a little bit more. Right now, there's apps on your phone, and there's all these different things. But really, it's like you can buy a treadmill and you can hang your clothes on it, right? But we need help with this, and there's professionals that are really good at it and can make it simplified for you, specific to you. So it doesn't have to be an overwhelming thing. It can become, instead of another thing I have to do, exercise is going to become that small need to make all of the other things possible. So I just want to end with this quote. BKS Iyengar, she mentioned that I practice and teach yoga, and this is a quote from him that I really like. It is through the alignment of the body that I discover the alignment of my mind, self, and intelligence. So, one more visualization, not quite a meditation, but when you are in somewhere in nature, and it's kind of an undescribable feeling, and you look out and you just see this vastness, right? And you question so many different things, and it's really hard to take it all in. And in yoga, in the yoga tradition, we would say that intelligence is in the space. So when you're out in the wilderness, there's a lot of space. We would also say that that universal intelligence exists in the space in this room, maybe between my wavelengths and you right now. So if that's true, we can also more easily go into our own body and recognize that there's also space there. By having good posture, breathing well, and functionally moving, we put the body in alignment, making more space for cellular communication, which therefore increases intelligence. So, if you want to stay sharp as you age, invest in your physical fitness.